Human dignity, though defined, is a term that continues to expand as long as humanity is in existence. What it is not is a refusal to examine shared patterns of consciousness. It does not demand that we have singularity of mind, that we become automatons, but that we share a purpose. It pleads for us to remember that as a network of human beings, we see how we are reflected within each other. That no matter the reality of participation, that in a particular manner each person is itself, but not merely this. We are involved in our connectedness, whether it be to a person or to objects, a joining that surrounds our space, perceived and not perceived, which on one level is every person and object. This is not a pushing of an unconditional norm which is impossible to revoke. It is an acknowledgement that comes or not via the avenue of personal experience. Most of the rhetoric regarding this concept is tied to the bestowing of an inherently God-given, unforfeitable rights. This insists on the need for a supernatural authoritarian gift which brings union via human rights. This is supposedly to be protected by governments and promoted by socialization of community standards. Recently, we see the influence of the global ethic. For those of you who do not know what this is an ethic drafted initially by Dr. Hans Kung in cooperation with the Council for a Parliament of the World's Religions. This group is attempting to provide the socialization of this concept by consolidation of global communities. Yes, I am highly suspicious of this organization, and I do not support it. I reject religion, co-opting of a concept that is not dependent on religious doctrine to exist and operate. Even with the Catholic claim that this concept of human dignity was based on natural law in the social teaching up until the Second Vatican Council, religion is not necessary to see that the human person should never be seen or used as a means to an end. Human dignity, to me, is a concept that we learn to embrace and hopefully promote as experiences demonstrates the merits of this act of compassion, mindful deference, and acknowledges the actuality of our affinity. It does not serve as an expedient for the substitution of religion. In my opinion, it does show a needed path which encourages us not to invest in false pride, which may lead to inhumane behavior and crushing isms. Human dignity cannot be pushed on individuals or political, social, and economic structures. When this occurs, what we have is fake action which depends upon force for its ultimate effectiveness. Human dignity does address the idea of the common good, though no consensus could be rendered by all of the inhabitants on the planet. This has its own issues if we refuse force as a means to secure a preferable end. Human dignity encourages us to challenge authority, so the potential for misuse of power is controlled. When thought about deeply, we understand the need for voluntary cooperation of social, economic, political, and legal systems. However, we would be wise to not allow these systems to define our response options until we opt to respond differently. I propose that if we are not able to see all as humans first, then we miss the opportunity to understand the constant exchange on a molecular level or a thought level. This allows for the conceptual separation and the trashing of human rights via the rejection of human dignity. What would happen if by using human dignity we could bring our consciousness to a non-polarized state of being, thereby maximizing our understanding of common ground, which leads to the development of mutual respect and paradigm shifts. Thank you for listening.